I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 17th, 2015. A stabbing attack was prevented in the West Bank today. The incident occurred in the Palestinian village of Hawara, which is outside of Nablus, when during a routine security check, Israeli troops approached a Palestinian man who was acting suspiciously in order to question him. The man then took out a knife and ran at the soldiers, who in response shot and killed him. A young Israeli boy who was critically injured in a terror attack back in October celebrated his bar mitzvah today. If you recall, 13-year-old Naor Ben Ezra was stabbed while riding his bicycle by two Palestinian teenagers in Jerusalem's Pisgat Ze'ev neighborhood. The medical team who treated him at the Hadassah Ein Kerem Hospital's pediatric wing was in attendance as Ben Ezra carried a Torah scroll at the Western Wall in the city today to mark his coming of age and his recovery. 14 people suffered light injuries as a result of being mildly poisoned at a synagogue in France on Monday in what appears to have been an anti-Semitic attack. A local French paper reported that the 14 members of the Jewish community of Bonnay-sur-Marne were harmed by a toxic substance that was placed on the keypad of an electronic lock of their synagogue. They called rescue services when they began to feel a sudden strong burning sensation in their eyes and a rash on their skin. Firemen treated the congregants at the scene, and the substance found on the pad was sent for analysis. A Jewish cemetery in central Poland was defaced Sunday night. Vandals painted anti-Semitic and pro-ISIS graffiti at the Jewish cemetery in Sohachev. The Jewish museum in the town takes care of the cemetery. Its director, Pavel Rozjachunsky, said in a statement that we discovered this barbaric behavior at the cemetery with disbelief. It is not consistent with human decency. We are ashamed of such behavior. Local police were investigating the incident. French news agency AFP reports that a Nobel-winning ethnologist and zoologist has been stripped of an honorary doctorate bestowed to him after his Nazi past was discovered. Austria's Salzburg University posthumously revoked the honorary doctorate that it had awarded to Konrad Lorenz in 1983. The university began looking into the past awarding of degrees last year and also revoked the honor given to former SS member Wolfgang Heffermel. The American Jewish Committee is praising United Auto Workers, or UAW International, for overturning a pro-BDS boycott, divestment, and sanctions resolution. The resolution was passed by the University of California Student Workers Union in December of last year. It called on the University of California and UAW International to divest from companies doing business in Israel and to boycott Israeli academic institutions. The local union, UAW 2865, represents graduate student workers at all UC campuses. President of AJC's Los Angeles region, Dean Schramm, thanked the UAW for nullifying what he called the deeply misguided graduate student workers resolution targeting Israel. Schramm said the role of the UC Graduate Student Union is to improve the working conditions of UC graduate students, not to engage in polarizing political propaganda and misinformation promoted by the BDS movement, which seeks to delegitimize Israel's right to exist. Hillel International announced a new partnership with the Ruderman Family Foundation in order to promote inclusion for students with disabilities at 550 college campuses across the U.S. and around the world. A grant of $750,000 will help Hillel address the challenges that students now face in taking part in campus programs and make sure that all Hillel communities can be inclusive of those students. Foundation President Jay Ruderman said the Ruderman Family Foundation is proud to partner with Hillel in building a Jewish community in which people of all abilities are welcome and celebrated. President and CEO of Hillel International, Eric Fingerhut, said this partnership will ensure that inclusion remains our primary goal as we seek to improve Jewish life on campus for all. The partnership was formally announced yesterday at the Hillel International Global Assembly that took place in Orlando, Florida. The Technion has broken ground on the first Israeli university in China. A cornerstone-laying ceremony for the Guangdong Technion Israel Institute of Technology took place in Shantou in the Guangdong province of southern China yesterday, marking a historic collaboration between the Technion and China's Shantou University. Technion President Peretz Lavin noted the innovative and entrepreneurial spirit of Israel and the incredible scale and resources of China, saying that together we will create a major research institute that will help not only China and Israel, but also mankind in general. The ceremony was led by former Israeli President Shimon Peres, who said both countries have much to share with and learn from one another. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS, Thursday, December the 17th. More coverage from the 2015 General Assembly of the Jewish Federations of North America, including tonight at 7:30. Former Middle East envoy Ambassador Dennis Ross discusses the U.S.-Israel relationship, and then at 8, current U.S. Ambassador to Israel Dan Shapiro weighs in on the topic. At 9 o'clock tonight, Mark Golub sits down with former Israeli Ambassador to the U.S. Michael Oren on L'chaim, and at 10 o'clock, back to the GA with David Makovsky of the Washington Institute, Ilan Goldenberg of the Center for a New American Security, and Laura Blumenfeld of the U.S. State Department, who all worked on the John Kerry Peace Initiative. They talk about the reasons it did not work with Ron Campius of the JTA. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, In the News with Mark Golub. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 17th, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader.